In this video, we're going to understand how the Russian S400 missile defense system works and why it is seen as a threat to the American stealth technology. So there are basically four components. I'm going to tell you in a way that is very easy to comprehend. So there are four components. If at all any country wants to buy this piece of Russian advanced hardware, it will come with four components. At first, there is a long-range surveillance radar. It is basically a huge military vehicle that is loaded up with a big radar. It's a 91N6E model radar. It is an upgraded variant of the 64N6E radar. The 91N6E variant has the same antenna design, but the transmitting power is much higher. It is said that this radar can detect up to 300 targets at a time. This radar has a panoramic detection system with up to 600 km range, and it also has protection against jammers. Now this radar is mounted on an MZKT 7930 truck, which is a Russian military 8x8 heavy-duty transporter vehicle. Then there is a command vehicle, which is basically a 55K6E military truck that acts as a command and control center. After that, there is an engagement radar, which is a 92N6E model radar. This is a multifunctional radar with a range of around 400 kilometers. There is another radar which is the 96L6E model. It is an all-altitude detector. This piece of equipment is optional. Similarly, there is also an optional 40V6MR model radar, which is basically meant to detect targets flying at a low altitudes and at a longer distance. Even this piece of equipment is optional. Depending on a country's specification and requirement, that's how orders are placed. Just like when you go to buy a car, there are different variants, right? High-end, low-end and mid-end. Each variant has additional features. Similarly, even this entire S400 defense system has some optional components that can be purchased based on country's personal defense requirements. Anyhow, and the last component is the launch vehicle itself. There is a trailer on which 5P8, 5TE2 missile launchers are kept, and the trailer is attached to a 10x10 heavy-duty military truck. This trailer has 4 missile storage containers, which are also called launchers. This entire system is equipped with 4 different types of missiles. Short-range 9M96E missile that has a range of about 40 kilometers. Then medium-range 9M96E2 missile with a range of about 120 kilometers. Then long-range 48N6 missile that has a range of about 250 kilometers. And you can also fire very long-range 40N6E missiles that have a range of about 400 kilometers. So these are the 4 components of the Russian S400 missile defense system. Now the way this works is, at first this long-range surveillance radar is going to track objects in the air. Then it passes on the information to the command vehicle. This command vehicle carries out further assessment whether the flying object is friendly or enemy. Once the command vehicle identifies the target, it gives the order to the launch vehicle. That is how any of the 4 missiles, depending on orders, are launched. Now the interesting thing to note here is that you can buy multiple launch vehicles and place them at different locations. This way the command vehicle can pass the target data to the best placed launch vehicle, and that is how surface-to-air missiles can be launched. Once the missile is launched, the engagement radar helps in guiding the missile towards the target. So what happens is that the long-range surveillance radar and the engagement radar both interact with each other. Based on the information received, the flight path, or you can say the trajectory of the missile, is set. So this is how the S400 air defense system works. I've already shown you the kind of missiles that can be fired from the S400 system. That is short range, medium range, long range and very long range missiles. That means the S400 system can detect and shoot down cruise missiles, guided missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, stealth fighter aircraft, drones and many more. Now speaking of fighter aircraft, you must have heard in the news that the United States and NATO allies have always shown resistance towards any country that wants to buy the S400 system. Whether it is Turkey, China, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Syria or India. Many countries have shown interest in buying the Russian missile system. But they have faced regulatory hurdles from the United States. It wasn't easy for India too. United States has many times directly as well as indirectly warned India that it could face sanctions if it continues to pursue its interests in buying the S400 system. United States has a sanction which is called the CAATSA sanction. Its full form is Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. It is quite self-explanatory. You can easily understand that if any country in the world has a plan which can be a potential threat to the United States, then as per this act, the United States will take countermeasures, and those measures are primarily in the form of sanctions. Sanction is like a penalty, and that penalty is usually aimed towards a particular country's economy. After all, money is at the root of almost everything in this world. Hence, the idea is that you hit the right spot, then you can potentially control your opponent. Plus, no country in this world wants to see its economy go down. So America uses the CAATSA sanction to safeguard its position of being a superior country in the world. Anyhow, so America has warned India many times and have said if India tries to acquire the Russian S400 system, then it may face US sanctions. So now the question is why America is behaving like this? Why the US is against any country purchasing the S400 defense system from Russia? And the answer is simply because of its capabilities. The S400 system is among the most advanced air defense system available right now in this world. It is almost on par with anything that America has to offer. This system is so precise that it can detect a large number of potential targets at once, including stealth targets. That is what concerns the United States. Americans do not want the stealth aircraft to be anywhere near the S400 system, because this Russian advanced military hardware can access the American stealth aircraft's vulnerabilities. Now imagine if you look at the American stealth aircraft like the F-22 Raptor, F-35 Lightning, B-2 Bomber and many more. These advanced military aircraft give America the much needed edge. That is why they don't sell these aircraft to any country. Now suppose if these stealth aircraft are detected by the S-400 system, there will be a huge demand for weapons that have the potential to counter American stealth aircraft. So if you see, that is against the American interests. So countries that have shown interest in buying the Russian S400 system were threatened with some kind of diplomatic retaliation from either the United States or NATO countries. The S400 system is the most advanced weapons system available right now in the market, and that is why many countries are showing interest in buying it. Now just imagine, if more and more countries buy this defense system, the United States will not be able to fly the drones and they will not be able to acquire intel. That is how the American forces are always ahead, because they get the intelligence much before anyone else, with the help of their satellites and drones. If more and more countries install this defense system, then American technology will come under detection. And if that happens, just imagine all the NATO countries that form the alliance. There will be a potential breakout in this alliance, and if you see, America individually is not that strong. It is because of the cooperation from its allies and partners. United States reaffirms its superpower image. Now, United States implemented the CAATSA sanction in the year 2017. It was done as a response to alleged Russian interference in the 2016 US presidential elections and military involvement in both Ukraine and Syria. I hope you understood everything about the S400 defense system and why it is a threat to the NATO air defense system and American stealth technology. And by the way, many of you must be thinking, how about the Israeli Iron Dome? If we compare the S400 versus the Iron Dome, which is better? You see, the Iron Dome system was designed to intercept and destroy shorter targets that are within the range anywhere between 4 km to 70 km away. Both are good in their own segments. But S400 system is a top-of-the-line surface-to-air missile system meant to destroy both small and huge targets which are hundreds of kilometers away. You can think of it like this. S400 system is the parent and Iron Dome is the child. But yes, Iron Dome is much faster, less expensive, and the battery capacity is much higher compared to S400 system. I hope you found this video informative. Thank you for watching it.